Hello everyone, happy 2021. So if you're new here, my name's Tally. I'm a second year medical student at University of Warwick, and basically I'm going to do a hopefully quick recap of 2020 and all the mad stuff that happened. Let's get into it. So, right, I've actually had to use my Instagram stories to help because my memory kind of sucks. And so I just went to the archives, and was just going through it, and I was like, oh yeah, that happened. Oh yeah, that happened. So start off with January. Last year I was living with four other medical students in Elsdon, and none of us were from Coventry or local to Coventry, and we didn't know where was good to go out or eat or anything. And we discovered the Botanist, which is it was one of the nicest bits of Cov, because I don't know, some bits of Cov are just a bit lil sus. What else happened? I went to a party and they were playing Kahoot music for a lot of it, which was it was different. It was different. It was a good party. I changed it now. This is so bad. Obviously, R.I.P. Kobe. Yeah, that was awful. Just absolutely horrendous. Such a loss for the black community. And winter ball. So I've never actually been to a ball before. I also ditched my year 11 prom, and I did go to my sixth form prom, but I didn't wear a dress, I wore trousers. And I don't like dressing up like that. I don't like dresses, I don't like frilly things, I don't like heels, I don't like any of that shit. So yeah, never been to a ball before. Definitely hadn't been to a ball at Sussex. Yeah, I went to this ball. I was kind of it's overpriced because 40 quid for a ticket. I was like, what is this? Very expensive. And the food kind of sucked, and the entertainment definitely sucked. I was like, actually, just get me up there with my violin. I would 100% do better. And yeah, it was okay. Moving on. February. So I don't know why we were going for walks before we were legally mandated to, but yeah, I went for a couple of walks in Feb, which were actually quite nice. Went pub after, and so by this time I was in what we call block 3. So all of our learning in first year was split up into blocks, and there's 5 blocks. Block 1 was kidneys, digestive system, all that sort of thing, and then block 2 was heart and lungs. And both of those were super intense, super overwhelming. There was a lot to it. So block 3 was brain and behaviour. So the sort of things we were studying is different conditions that affect the brain, and that sort of thing. And I found it really interesting because I've never done any neuro stuff before, never studied any neuro stuff before. But it definitely was quite a lot. So I switched up my study style in block 3. Rather than being sat there in lectures sort of focused on taking notes, I would make flashcards on Quizlet, and that's kind of what I was doing. And when it came to time to revision, actually I was really glad I had done that, because that really helped, and made block 3 really easy to revise. I didn't need to go and create any more revision materials for block 3, so that was nice. However, at the time it really increased my workload, and I remember properly struggling, and I was studying all the time. We'd be at the gym for 6, and then by 8 we'd be showered in the medical school, and then in the computer room, and I'd do pre-work almost before lectures, laying out kind of going over the material, because I found when I'd be in lectures listening to the lecturer, if they was talking about something I didn't know what they were talking about, I'd just zone out, which I later found out the reason for, but I do loads of stuff after uni. So we go to clinical skills to practice skills for OSCEs, or that was on a Monday, I think, or a Tuesday, can't remember. And then we'd have student seminars as well, which my medic dads was so lovely, and they put on for us, which was awesome. We had loads of stuff afterwards. Oh, and we had anatomy revision days and physiology revision days at the end of each block as well, on a weekend. So it's not I wasn't trying, but yeah, it was super intense. Had a consolidation week, went home for that, and lots of people's birthdays. I love a birthday, so it was fun. And oh yeah, so by this time I was also working some weekends as like a waitress sort of thing, server. I can't remember what my actual job description was, but for the uni with uni temps, so I'd quite often do lots of stuff at Stony Park, and also taught some swimming lessons at the sports centre at uni on campus as well. So that was fun. Right, March. So oh yeah, we had there was some netball matches. So there was like rugby netball. My sister came up to see me, which was really nice. I mean, she actually came to see her friends because she went to Birmingham Uni, and her friends were still at Birmingham Uni. But afterwards, she stopped by Coventry and she came and saw me, so that was really nice. And we got brunch. Oh yeah, this was the time the job I used to do before I went to medical school. So I started out as a lifeguard. I always worked in like leisure centres and gyms. Started out as a lifeguard and worked my way up to like team leader, and then like duty manager, and then assistant manager. And when I was assistant manager of this leisure centre, my focus was health and safety. So yeah, I used to do all of that stuff. So it tickled me when it showed up in a lecture. March, we just started block 4, and block 4 was musculoskeletal, and I suck at anatomy. I find anatomy really difficult. I've had beef with the anatomy team as well, so that didn't help. So it's not like I could ask them for help because I was dumb. But yeah, so block 4 was like actually the worst. Like remembering the names of like all the different bones and where everything attaches. I'm just like, bruv, really. I actually really liked the pharmacology in block 4, but I didn't like anything else. Block 4 was just like, what even is this? So yeah, and then I also basically missed 2 weeks of block 4 because we had elections for MedSoc. So my uni has a medical society, like most unis, and I wasn't gonna run for anything. And then, God, this sounds awful, but like basically, I was kind of like, oh, you know what, actually, I'll sort of like run for, because I was like, I kind of want to be on the committee because there's like loads of things I want to change. Like, for example, the fact that you can never park on campus, I hated that. Although Corona kind of sorted that out for me with the number of people working from home. Suddenly there's space. Yeah, I wanted to sort that out. I wanted to sort out like the price of gym memberships as well. So there's like a few things as well. This could definitely be changed. And also, yeah, I'm not even going to say that actually. And so I ran in the end for president. And that took up a lot of time. Like campaigning is actually long. I'm not going for an elected position again. I can tell you that. But yeah, won. That was really exciting. So I think I'm the first. Actually, no, I know I'm the first Black female president or at MedSoc. But I'm not sure if I think I probably am. Yeah, the first Black president as well. Which is extremely disappointing because, I mean, the medical school's been around for like 20 years. So, but yeah, here we are. Okay, what else happened? And then obviously, like, it all kind of hit the fan. So this is the last time I went clubbing, I think, which I obviously didn't realise because obviously Corona happened. And then it all kind of kicked off. Our face-to-face teaching was cancelled. Eurovision was cancelled, which that for me, I was like, this is real. This whole pandemic thing is very, very real because you can't cancel the Eurovision Song Contest. Yeah, cancelling the Eurovision Song Contest is just like unheard of. Like that just doesn't happen. I like live for Eurovision, so I was very upset that got cancelled. And this was our last Nando's with a couple of my friends. Because at the time Nando's were doing 50% off for people that worked in the NHS gang. And then lockdown happened. So I think I stuck around for like maybe a couple of days or something, and it was just trash, like being there. So I went home. And that was good. So April was weird. April was fun. I was at home for a few weeks, and then the university I guess was obviously working with like the local trusts, and they put out a call for medical students to go in and help with the pandemic response. And the uni were actually great. I have made a video on this, and I will link it somewhere. But or down there maybe. But yeah, the university actually put us up in they've got these like like almost like hotel sort of things on campus, 3 of them, and so they put us up in those. They like fed us, because by that time I'd actually been really lucky. We managed to cancel our contract, the rent on the house, because we were privately renting, and so obviously when the uni were like, oh, come and work, we'll pay you, but we need some like people to help out with the pandemic, then obviously I wasn't able to. I was like, oh, you know, I'd love to, but I haven't got anywhere to stay. And there were quite a few of us in that situation. So the university was really good, and they let us, they put us up for months, literally months and months, until July. They did, till July for free, and then after July you had to pay. So I think I stayed till August because our contracts ended in August, and I wanted to work till the end of my contract. So that's what I did. Yeah, and that was really good. So yeah, that was April. And working in the hospital was great. So I'd definitely watch the video if you want to know what it was like. It was good. And then May was pretty much the same. At this point, online learning was definitely kicking my bum because so after block 4 we had the final block, which is block 5, and that was about reproductive system, reproduction, babies as well, developmental milestones, all of that good stuff. And it's really interesting, and I'm sure it would have been really, really good, but doing it online was just really, really tricky, really, really difficult. I struggled so much doing it online. And now I kind of realise, obviously, it was, at the time, because I didn't know what was going on. I was sat there like, I've never really experienced this before, the whole online learning thing. And there was that whole lack of structure. So beyond a couple of synchronous activities, which was, at the time, literally just CBL, case-based learning, where you're in small groups, and we used to do that on Teams. So that was twice a week for an hour and a bit. Aside from that, there was nothing. The whole idea was like you can do it all in your own time, which was not good for me because like aside from like my shifts and that, like I was like, I don't know where to start, like what lectures do you do first. The whole thing was just so confusing and like so horrible. And now I know that obviously that was a symptom of like executive dysfunction, which is I think that happens in ADHD. I can make a video on ADHD and like being a med student if you guys want. But like at the time obviously I didn't know, so and I was like, why am I struggling with this? Like everyone else seems to be doing so well with studying online, and they finished block 5 or they're nearly done with block 5, and I just kept thinking as well, like, so if our exams ended up getting postponed because of coronavirus, but like if they hadn't been postponed they would have been in at the end of May, June sort of time. They would have been in May I think actually. And I was like, well, I would have failed, I'm going to fail. Like, it was just, the whole thing was awful. So, definitely really sucked. It was, like, such a strange time as well, because the people that I made friends with throughout the year actually weren't really there. Most of them had gone home and they didn't work in the hospitals, or they were working at hospitals, like, where they lived. But the people that stayed in Coventry, I ended up getting, like, really good friends with, which was really awesome. I definitely credit that with being able to know like way more of the people in my year. So that was really nice. But the whole studying, doing the online learning thing wasn't for me. So May, June, obviously was the BLM protests and the murder of George Floyd. And that didn't help as well because when I wasn't at work, I was at a protest with like a couple of other people that I knew. Just because obviously the whole situation was shit. And then when I wasn't doing that, then I was beefing racists online because there's so many of them. And so many racists showed up out of the like people that I'd been to school with that I hadn't. Like, I mean, I went to school with people that I knew were racist at the time. But there was people that obviously hid it until now. And then there's like, oh, like black people are so whingy and all this stuff. And I'm just like, well, okay. So, I blocked a lot of people, argued with a lot of idiots. That I had the misfortune to be educated with. Plenty of racists showed their ass in med school as well, lots of them. So that was dramatic. And I mean, the uni's response to that really, really leaves a lot to be desired. Here we are. So plenty of racists. And obviously all that as well made it even more difficult to like study when, I don't know, all that was going on. And we did lots of outdoor sports and dog walks. So by this time, I think the lockdown was being relaxed slightly, so like the regulations were changing. Yeah, so we used to walk the dog a lot, which was really fun. July, Eurovision movie. I've watched it like 9 times now, I think. I'm obsessed. I love it. I don't think if they'd released it in a year when there'd actually been Eurovision, I wouldn't have watched it. But because I was so Eurovision starved, then I needed that. Gym reopened. Awesome. Sorry again. So August, went home again because my contract at the hospital ended and I was definitely really struggling. And I remember watching a TikTok. I somehow ended up on like Frog TikTok, which was good. I was enjoying being on Frog TikTok. And then somehow I got onto ADHD girl TikTok. And I remember watching this TikTok about how differently ADHD presents in girls. And I remember watching it and being like, oh, but that can't be right because I do that. Like I do it all, like, and then I was like, oh. And so I found some really helpful people online and a really helpful girl that I go to uni with. She's in my year, who had essentially found like she'd gone through like a similar thing. Like she'd been at med school, not had a diagnosis before, but like just the volume of work at med school, and then like now all the structure's been taken away as well because all online. She'd kind of gone and got her ADHD diagnosis as well, and so she taught me through the process and like how I went about finding what was wrong, and yeah, so big up her, she's awesome. So yeah, I got diagnosed with ADHD in August or September. What else have I got written down here? Oh yeah, R.I.P. Chadwick Boseman as well. That was really sad. I was a big Black Panther fan. Like when it came out, to my whole family to go watch it. Apart from my sister because she was at uni. But yeah, my brother, my dad, my mum, and like dad and mum had not been in the cinema for literally years prior to that. But I think the last time my dad had been in the cinema was to watch Avatar. So that was what, 2009? I don't know. But yeah, went and watched Black Panther and it was awesome. So good. So it was so like he's such a loss. Rest in power. And then yeah, September, so got my ADHD diagnosis, got my meds, and that did help with like revision. So I moved back up to uni as well. So instead of living with other people in the course this year, I became a resident tutor. So I was like helping students. You live on campus for that. And what else did we do? Oh yeah, so we obviously now was the new MedSoc president and like with the new MedSoc committee, so we ran some freshers events. Obviously not the usual freshers events. Usually we do some non-drinking ones and then some drinking ones, like you go clubbing, you go to the pub and you like get to know people in your course and get to know people in the medical school, but obviously we couldn't do that, which was such a shame. So in the end, and again I've got another video on this as well, or no, I'm releasing a video on what we kind of like did properly, but yeah, we just kind of organized things and were able to like get everyone to meet each other, which was nice. And then October, 1st of October, Nigerian Independence Day, 60 years of Nigerian independence, which is actually quite scary because, I mean, my dad's older than that. So my dad's literally older than Nigeria. In fact, I don't think Nigeria's ever been run by someone that's not older than the country. And obviously, Nigeria got independence from the British because Nigeria was colonised by Britain for years and people were treated very, very badly. So, yeah. And then on the 5th of October, I had my first exam. So our exams were split into 2 papers and they were meant to be hybrid. So they're meant to be like some short answer questions and some multiple choice questions and then an OSCE. But the short answer questions were taken out because they just did a multiple choice, I guess for like coronavirus, because it reduces the amount of people that need to touch your paper, right? Like you can just feed it into the machine and then get your result. And it was also what's wrong with my brain? Oh my god, 17 minutes. This is going on for so long. Yeah, short answer questions, and it was also on MCQ. Yeah, I said that. It was MCQ. It was MCQ. Okay, so it was MCQ questions, and they cancelled the OSCEs that we were meant to do. So they've been postponed. I don't know. There'll be some other time, maybe in year 2. And I was really struggling. I thought because we had 2 papers, so we had one paper on the 5th of October and one on the 6th of October. Both of them were like 100 marks, and I was like, oh my god, I've done really badly, and it was very stressful. And then whilst all this was happening, obviously I had the End SARS movement, SARS is like a really dodgy police outfit in Nigeria, and they go around brutalizing people, killing people, raping people, stealing from people like phones and stuff, and they target young people especially, but they'll have it at they'll go after anyone if they want. So people protesting about that, and then you have the Lekki Tollgate massacre as well, which is where SARS thought it'd be a really good idea to murder people that were protesting against SARS. Clowns. And then, oh yeah, this is the last time I've been in that cafe. It's like a really nice cafe in Coventry. It's called Millsies. I went there with some mates, and then we went into tier 3. So and then after tier 3 we actually had like another nationwide lockdown, so there was that. 25th anniversary of the murder of Ken Saro-Wiwa, who was an environmental activist in Nigeria, and the Ogoni 9 as well, which is the other men that were killed with him because they protested against oil pollution, and then Shell and the dictator at the time, Sani Abacha, decided to kill him. So cool. And then I found out I passed my exam, so I was gassed, and there's a video about that as well. Should go watch that. November, so more walks, because we had absolutely no other option than to go for walks because lockdown. And yeah, I'm officially a second year. Gang, so excited. In December, oh yeah, all the UK FPO clown business. Like, firstly, what they did to the 4th years to try to sit their SJT and just messing them around with exam dates and stuff. And then they also have basically, as a like graduate, so if you've either done like an intercalation year, I don't know, that's what the undergrads do, I don't understand that. But for graduates, like, we obviously all got at least a degree before. Like, if you're gonna go to uni at Warwick or Swansea, I think is the other graduate entry medical school in the UK, you have to have a degree, and you get points for that degree. Like, so I've only got like a bachelor's, so I get like, I think 3 points for a bachelor's. But if you have a master's, then you get like more points, and if you've got a PhD, then you get more points. But the UK FPO basically took that away, and the points determine where in the country you get to work. So if you want to work in like a certain place, some places are more competitive than others. London is really competitive, so people that want to work in London, maybe because it's where they came from, and they want to go back home, or because, you know, there's a certain opportunity in London that they want to, I don't know, take up. You obviously want to get more points so that you've got a higher chance of being placed where you want to be. And then, yeah, the UK FPO kind of were just like, we're going to take it away because we think it's unfair. I was like, yeah, there's definitely merit to thinking it's unfair. But they were like, oh, we're going to take it away in 2023, which was like, that would be our cohort, like, affected. But they're not going to take... I was like, if it's really unfair, why would you not just take it away, like, now? Like, just take it away for 2021 or even 2022. Like, why wait till 2023? That was very strange. Yeah, and then Christmas. Woo, love Christmas. So that is 2020. Obviously 2020 has been quite a trash year for like many people, and yeah, that is it. If you enjoyed this video, then please subscribe. If you want to see anything else, then let me know in the comments. Thank you. Bye.